Okay, good. All right, so first off, simple sentence. One complete thought, one independent clause, no dependent clauses in this, okay? And only one independent clause. Now, you may have multiple subjects and verbs, or verbs, or both. For instance, I might say, I can't spell your name, I said, yes I can. I don't know if that's true or not, I mean, but this is an example of a simple sentence, okay? Yes, you have two subjects, but they're both doing the same thing, okay? It's one complete idea, no dependent clauses, okay? Also, if I were to say, right? It's still a simple sentence. Yes, it's got two verbs, but they share the same subject. It's one independent clause, one complete idea, no dependent clauses. These are both examples of simple sentences. Okay? You could have two verbs and two subjects. You could have one subject and one verb. Okay? But it's all one complete idea, no dependent clauses. That is a simple sentence. Okay? Now, compound sentence is going to require one of two things. I tell people the cheaters, and in this, it's an okay cheat, okay? The cheat way, and this will become more valuable to you in the next section, but it's still of help in this section. The cheat way to determine if the sentence is compound is you will have a semicolon or you will have a comma with one of these words. Okay? If it's compound, it's going to be two independent clauses. Still no dependent clauses. We'll talk about those in the next section, okay? Two independent clauses, two complete ideas, no dependent clauses, and in between those two independent clauses, if it's punctuated and written correctly, you're either going to have a semicolon or more often than not, probably you're going to have a comma with, okay, not this word, but a comma accompanied by one of those, okay? Let me do this. I didn't say others in here aren't. There's one boy in particular who also is, but I'm just going with an idea in my head, okay? No boys are bad in English in here, just some of us are more gifted than others, you know, and if you're not good at English, you might be good at math, or science, or making stuff, okay? With your hands or whatever. God gifts us all differently. Now, let me do something else here. And before you read it and go, what? I'll explain something in a minute. Okay. I want to make a point here. Just because you have this and this, it does not always mean you have a compound sentence, right? I know I just said, look for this accompanied with one of these words. And more often than not, you have this and you have this, it's probably a compound sentence. But this is the other way that you could have a comma with an and. If you have a list of 3 or more somethings, then you get a comma after each one, and then comma still after this one. You're going to see that in a lot of, and we'll talk more about this when we do the punctuation chapter, chapter 12. You see a lot of publications, newspapers, magazines, etc., where they're trying to save space, and they get rid of what this is. There are 2 terms for this. Terminal Oxford, comma, okay? It's never wrong to put it, and most people, if you want somebody who's strict with grammar, are going to tell you it's wrong not to have that comma there. Okay? You say, oh, it's just a comma. Okay? I know we're not doing commas, but let me show something to you. Commas matter, y'all. I'm just saying, right? Right?
Yeah.
Prime example, commas matter. Right? We're not cannibals. We love our grandmas. We don't want to chew them up and digest them. Therefore, we're talking to her and we need a comma here. Okay, and I'm not going to belabor that because that's not our focus today, but commas matter. Okay, I know you think, oh, it's just a stupid comma, who cares if I put it? Again, when you talk, you pause. Okay, and if somebody still doesn't understand what you say, they can ask questions. When it's on a page and somebody's confused, they're confused. Right? They have your words on the page, they can't ask you. All right? So, comma and is usually a compound sentence, but it could be a list of 3 or more. Now, here is a compound sentence. Emma, Kaylee, are. Okay? And by the way, this is a word that used to be used this way a lot more than it is now. Okay? This means they're tight in today's vernacular. Okay? They're very good friends. Okay? Okay? We're not doing that, don't worry. But it actually tells us to do that on one of these sections, but I'm not having you do that. Okay, right now. We've done a lot of that earlier in the year. But that just kind of helps you visualize. Then we have, and I did separate them on the line there, we have comma, or. And, but, or, nor, for, yet, or so.
So the first one's not compound and the second
It's
one?
not that. This is a simple sentence.
Okay.
Whoa.
It's a long one, okay? That's a big girl sentence, as I'd like to say, okay? It's not a 3rd grade sentence, but it's a simple sentence nonetheless. Yes, you have 4 subjects, but you have 1 verb that they share. 1 independent, no dependent, okay? But this one is compound. I could have put an and here, probably wouldn't have been quite as good. I could have put a semicolon here too, in the place of the comma and the for. It would have been okay. The semicolon you want to be careful with. If your ideas are closely related, and you define someone's closely related, well, right? If your ideas are closely related, a semicolon can substitute for the comma in the conjunction. Okay? All right, let's see what we got. Oh. All right, again, complete idea. After the comma conjunction, I can say it out loud. They enjoy doing almost everything together. Is that a complete idea? simple sentence. Before the comma, 4. Emma and Kaylee are fast friends. Put a period there. Okay, so you've got 2 simple sentences, 2 independent clauses joined to make a compound sentence. I don't. Excuse me, the longer these go,